Hello Virgo. So we are doing something special. This is a message specific for twin flames. So let's go ahead and get started. You've got a situation, you've got what the challenge is, you have what it is that you don't know, and then that last card is what it is that you need to do. And we're going to start with situation 1 up here at the top. And it is Epiphany, and it's number 9. It is a major arcana. And at the bottom it says, joy through spiritual growth, be a light to others, answers that come through meditation. So this situation is talking about the divine masculine. You know, when I say divine masculine, divine feminine, there are same-sex twin flames. This is just whoever has the masculine energy. So they're saying that the divine masculine, you know, he's had this epiphany, and he knows that there's this connection. He feels this connection to the divine feminine. He knows that she's the one. He's let a lot of things go. He's had tremendous spiritual growth. They're saying he's fully connected right now. He's fully connected and illuminated. So you see here, you've got this angel, he's got this light. They're saying he has made it through the tunnel. He's at the end of the tunnel, and he's peering outside of the tunnel, but he's hesitant to take that leap. Okay, he knows this is divinely ordained. This is divinely watched over. He knows this connection's huge and strong. He knows that there's telepathic communications. He knows that he's hearing her thoughts, feeling her. He knows that. He's fully awakened. They're saying he's fully awakened. He's fully awakened and open up to the divine being that he is. And he knows that. But the challenge is, when I was shuffling the cards, 2 cards came out together. And the first one was surrender. The second one that came out was hope. So the challenge is, okay, he knows that. He knows that the connection's true. He knows he's let a lot of stuff go. I mean, there's been so much he's had to let go of, and so much that has been healed. But they're saying that the challenge is at this point for him to fully surrender to that, because there's still doubt, there's still fears, there's still worries because of the things that he's, you know, had to let go of. Past partners, lovers, spouses. He's lost some of his hope. And, you know, hope is essential. Hope is, you know, what gives us that courage to move forward. Hope is what inspires us and motivates us and keeps going, even when times are tough, even when we may have a little bit of doubt. But it's that hope that keeps us moving forward. So they're saying, although he's very hopeful that this is what he believes it is to be, he's struggling to move forward. Okay, they want me to read them. So let me find these in this book. So the challenge. We'll start with surrender. Death, like life, is constant. Everything is existence is constantly dying and being reborn. From the cells in our body to our thoughts and feelings, to the constant shifting cycles of nature. The part of the cycle coming up here is death. At this stage, we must deal with a release and a surrender. We must at this stage release some aspect of our life and ourself. Beyond that, we must release the ego, the part of ourself that is attached to identity, to itself being seen, being right, the part that buys into the illusion of believing that we can truly know the unknowable. At this time, a surrender must occur, a surrender to God, to life, to the higher intelligence that exists in love. Once this occurs, a new kind of freedom is achieved within the psyche and the spirit, and we become a clean slate for a new phase to begin. A death phase can be exciting, terrifying, ecstatic, devastating, or even all of the above, depending on what is occurring for you. Humans are generally petrified of giving up the ego self. That is why we are afraid of death. But the ego must now be released in order to experience new life. Ultimately, all that can be done is to process whatever feelings are coming up and surrender to this divine and natural cycle of consciousness. Inability to surrender will only result in this part of the cycle being a longer, more drawn out and difficult process than it necessarily has to be. Above all, a true sense of liberation now awaits you. A new phase. Change is occurring now. Embrace it and surrender to it. And the next one, because they're going to have us read them both. Now, if they continue this trend, it may be a lengthy reading by the time we get through the other 2, so we'll see what they've got in store. Hope is one of the most powerful of all human emotions. It awakens within us the strength, courage, and inspiration to do almost anything. But it is the experience of true hope, the hope that comes even after our struggles, even when things seem pointless, hard, or hopeless, that gives us new eyes to see with. This allows a new perspective to emerge from our being as we are reborn. It is through this burst of clarity and inspiration that we become able to manifest a new life for ourselves. We take a renewed attitude with renewed action and become able to attract the people and opportunities we need to create new beginnings and a new life. If you found life struggles overwhelming recently, if you felt confused, frustrated, or defeated, it may be time for you to let go and surrender to the natural cycles of life. Just as nature has seasons and cycles, so do we. You may be experiencing a winter within your psyche. Sit, breathe, and allow yourself to connect to your deeper self. If you are willing to take the time to connect, you will notice a change taking place within you. New life, new courage, new seeds are being sown within you. A new phase of your life is beginning, so be conscious and use this time well. Allow yourself to really feel the spring of hope bubbling from the depths of your being. Become open to the worlds of possibility that lie waiting, open to you. Take courage and take flight. So the challenge is for the divine masculine to fully, finally surrender, to accept his divinity, to also accept that connection, accept that divine connection, because it's been open for a reason. Now, the thing that the divine masculine is not aware of, it's the Seven of Raphael card, and at the bottom it says, time to make a decision, be clear on what you want, and take action, and need for detoxification. So when you add 9 and 7, boils down to 7. So the angels they're confirming that the divine masculine that are in this final stage, they are the first wave that are coming into union with their beloved. They are on the right path. They are fully supported by the divine. This is a magical time. It's a guaranteed time, and they're saying it's time for him to step into his magic, because he does have divine magic. He does have divine magic, they're saying. So this card typically talks about, getting clear on what you want and then taking action without looking back, moving forward fearlessly. But they're saying, so this is talking about what it is that he's not aware of. And if you can see, there's like a fountain. I don't want to mess up the cards. There's like a fountain. There's these buckets of color, and I believe it's zoomed in enough that you guys can see it. Yes. Okay. But the path is cleared. What they're saying is he is not aware that the path has already been completely cleared for him to move forward. It's cleared. Everything is ready. All he needs to do is take that step. They're saying he is meant to move forward with her. She is meant to be. He is meant to step into this divine greatness, this supercharged intuition, into these gifts, their spiritual gifts that have been awakened in him, because he's going to use that to help humanity, and he's going to do that with her. But he's not aware. There aren't any roadblocks. Everything else has been cleared. He just needs to trust that and move forward. And it comes up in the card True, which at the bottom it says, yes, what you're asking about is the truth. This is true. It is true divine love. It is meant to be. This is the path that he's meant to be on. And he knows that deep in his heart. So what they're saying is he needs to trust that. And there's like a star illuminated above that horse. So they're saying, trust that. You know the truth. You have received so many signs. So the divine masculine that are listening, if any of them are listening to this, you have received so many signs. It is undeniable. This is what you're meant to do. This is the path you're meant to take. This is the person you're meant to be with. You are meant to have these gifts. You are meant to be with them. That person is a gift. And they're saying the two of you together are a gift to others. And they said you'll see how magical it is as soon as you take your step forward. Because they have cleared everything up to this point. They have given you complete clear signs. It's just time to step out of that pathway, that tunnel that you've been walking down. Trust the epiphany, trust what you have received, and step forward. Now, situation 2. Card is 5 of Gabriel. At the bottom it says, a challenge you can resolve. Withdraw from the drama of others. Have patience with yourself and those around you. So what they're saying is, there's some of you out there that are just very impatient. And you're really struggling to try and figure this out, because in this you've got a girl, she's sitting at a puzzle. You're really trying to figure out how to put the pieces into place, and it's almost like shoving a round rod into a square peg hole. It's not going to work. You can't force this, because it is divinely timed. The pieces of the puzzle will fall into place when they're meant to be. You don't need to do anything about those. What they're saying is you need to focus on yourself, healing yourself, opening yourself up, clearing those things that are keeping things from progressing, is what they're saying. So they are saying to withdraw from the drama as far as wanting to know what your divine other half is doing. So for most of you, this is the divine feminine. For most, not all. But for most, this is the divine feminine. You've been spiritually awakened first, And for a number of you, you've done some healing. For some of you, you've done what you think has healed things, but it hasn't. And for another large number of you, you've not yet started on the healing yet, because you're just so spun up in, okay, I know this connection's real. I know this is the person I'm meant to be with. I know this is the love of a lifetime. I know I'm supposed to move forward with them. So why aren't they calling me? And why am I not hearing from them? You're being encouraged to take the focus off of that and put the focus on you and your healing. That's where you need to be right now, because your challenge is clearing those roadblocks, clearing those things that are keeping your heart stuck. Because there's a lot of healing that has to be done in order for twin flames to come together. So for those of you that are in this situation, you're still waiting on your spiritual gifts to open up. Some of you are getting frustrated with that. Like, why don't I have these spiritual gifts that twin flames have? And why is my intuition barely awakened? And why have these things not opened up? It's because your healing's not done. You have to get your healing done. Your gifts won't open until your spiritual healing is done. It's kind of like, I like to explain it, kind of like an onion. As you remove a layer of the onion, your spiritual gifts will open. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of the spiritual gifts. So like for me, I started out, I would get signs, and then I'd, go have some healing from a healer, and then I would hear words, because I hear Jesus and the angels talk to me. And then I'd go have another healing session, and then I would hear whole sentences, and I'm like, holy crap, Jesus and the angels are like really having a conversation with me. But it came off like layers of an onion, because they're not going to open everything at once, because it would terrify you. If they opened all your gifts at once, you would be freaked out, because you're very, very powerful. Twin flames are extremely powerful. But those things don't open up until you do your healing. And you don't get on your mission until you do your healing. And you don't come together with your twin until you've done your healing and you're doing your mission. Then that's when your twin will come in. So you have got to focus on doing your healing. That's what they're trying to encourage you. If you look in here, you see his third eye's illuminated. You've not been set on fire yet. You haven't been set on flame yet. And it's not hard. You just need to reach out and get some help. And the card, the next one that we have, which is what you're unaware of, is Three of Raphael. And I'm not going to read the bottom of it, because what the message is, typically this card talks about, celebrating and having a party with friends, family. But what they're trying to say for those of you in this situation, you're surrounded by an entire community of people who can help you. They say you're surrounded by a community of healers. So many of the first wave twin flames who are coming together in the next, couple months, they are doing their work. They're doing the mission work. So, fully open, they're doing healings, they're doing what they're here to do, and a large number of them are healers. And then there are other healers out there. But you have an entire community around you, not to mention the angels that are trying to guide you down the path of what type of healing and who to go see and what to go do. So listen to that guidance, because initially, to open yourself up, it's not going to be healing that you do on your own. As much as we'd like to do that, like when I first started my healing journey, I thought, oh, well, I'm healed. I don't have daddy issues. I don't have these things. But then I went to see a healer, and I went to start having those things healed. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know about that stuff. Because it's surprising. It's funny because the last two cards came out for you guys when I was shuffling. And happy surprise, and then relax, everything's okay. Because you're going to be surprised at the way you're going to remove these blocks. Because early on when you're doing your healing, meditations, doing them on your own, are not going to be effective. They're not going to be effective until your gifts are fully opened up. Okay, let me give you an example. So one of my clients, she's a twin flame, did a healing session on her a couple days ago. She's at the final stages. She's got like one more healing session, and then she'll be fully opened up, and she'll be doing her mission, and then she'll be heading into union. So this healing session that we did, so I started to do the healing session, and I'm taken to a couple of her past lives. One past life, she had been raped and had these things happen to her as a young girl, and that was a few lifetimes ago. And then I was taken to her most recent past life, and they had taken me to this image where this young boy was in a dark alley. He was being beaten up by other boys in their Catholic school. And he's about 7 years old. And in comes this little girl. And she's about 5 years old. And she comes in to try and stop it. So the boys gag both of them. And then they rape the little girl. She's the little girl. The little boy who was her brother is her twin flame. So what happened, and because of that lifetime, that experience that they shared, and because of what had happened to her with rape in another life prior to that, is she didn't trust men. So her soul really couldn't open up to her twin in this lifetime, because deep down she's terrified of men because of what has happened to her. She can't fully open to love because there's that fear deep down. And then because it was with her twin, there's deep down the not trusting him, that, you know, you let this happen to me. How could you let this happen to me if you love me unconditionally? And he didn't let it happen. He tried. He did everything he could. But they tied him down. He tried, but he couldn't. And then for him, he didn't feel that he could protect her. He didn't feel that he could provide, protect, care for her. So those deep wounds that they had, they brought to them with this life, into this lifetime. So there's no way they will ever come together, twin flames or not, until that was healed and released. So now that's healed and released. And there's one more big thing that has to be healed and released, and they're going to be coming into union. Because there are blocks that you have that you're not aware that you have. And those blocks are big. Those blocks are deep. Those blocks are the reasons your spiritual gifts are not opening up. Your intuition's getting stronger. You're going through some ascension symptoms. But they're saying for a lot of you, it's also just frustration of why is this not happening? And that's why they were saying early on that you're just trying to force it and trying to force it. Take the focus off of coming into union and put the focus on asking the angels, what is my next step? What am I supposed to do? Ask for a message. They'll give you a message. They'll give you guidance, because this is completely surrounded by divine timing, divine intervention. They're going to bring divine intervention and assistance in unexpected, surprising ways through professional healers. And they're going to get you opened up, because when you're opened up, then you're going to know, like, oh wow, these are my gifts. This is what I'm here to do. So just relax, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out divinely timed when it's supposed to. But ask for those signs of what your next step is and take the action in that direction. Now, situation 3. We have Page of Raphael, and underneath it says more stuff that really isn't related to this. Okay, so what they're saying is, for those of you in this situation, you've started out on the journey. You've gone. They're congratulating you because you've gone to see professional healers. You've done the healing. You've done the work. You've released all these things that weren't meant for you. Your spiritual gifts have opened up. You have a ton of psychic information, intuitive information, spiritual gifts. You've also come into a place of loving yourself because your heart's healed. But now it's time for you to start venturing forward to do your mission, because they're saying, the challenge is that all this stuff's opened up. And for most of you in this situation, you're being guided down a path which is something that you've never done before. So you're hesitant. You're wondering, how am I going to be able to support myself? How am I going to be able to provide for myself, for my kids? How am I going to do that? Because it's completely different than anything you've ever done. But your heart, you're feeling guided in that direction. You're being pushed in that direction, but you're kind of afraid to go in that direction. So this card, this is your challenge, and it has, Archangel Haniel. It's beauty. And you can see on this picture, it's got this woman, she's got these wings, third eye's open, crown chakra's open, third eye chakra's open, unconditional love's flowing. She's fully awakened into her divinity. And 20 talks about your connection with the divine being very strong and very clear, because you are the divine. So Archangel Haniel. Haniel's name means, the glory or the grace of God. And that's what beauty is. Beauty is the light of God shining through us. It's that magnificence that's in us, that exists. So for those of you that are here that may not be aware yet, the thing that you're not aware of, 20, this card says new beginnings. It has Archangel Jeremiah. He's floating above in the clouds. And at the bottom it says, starting a new life, finding your purpose, and we're not going to cover the rest of that. So you've done a lot of healing. You've had these miraculous, remarkable spiritual gifts open up in you. And now you've got these gifts, and you're wondering, okay, what do I do with these? And there's the fear to move forward, because the thing you're not aware of is what you are. So twin flames, just trying to find out how we're going to explain this because this is going to be an interesting one to explain. Okay, so twin flames. So all humans do have a divine counterpart. They do have their other half. So, and even in same sex, there's always a masculine energy, there's always a feminine energy. That's the balance that's brought in. However, with people who are not twin flames, their other half is what's called as a twin soul. So it is their other half that is their divine counterpart. They do have a lot of, connection. There's even, telepathic communications and those things. They have that. It's very, very, very high divine connection. But they're called twin souls. Twin flames. Flame talks about God incarnate. It's the flames of creation. So in the Bible, it talks about, so I grew up in a really strict home, and my family would always say, you know, only 144,000 of us are going to ascend and go to heaven. God's only going to send 144,000 of us. But what I have come to discover through my journey and getting these very loud, clear conversations with Jesus and the angels, that is talking about that there are currently 144,000 twin flames incarnated on the earth at this time. Now, twin flames are the same soul. So that really means there's 288,000 of our bodies here, because the divine masculine, divine feminine, they are one. They are one. But there's only 144,000 of us, pairs. And that's it. And it's because we're here to do big things. So when it talks about ascending, it's not talking that, you know, Jesus is going to come down, God's going to come down, and they're just going to pull these people out of the graves and they're going to go. It's talking about twin flames are God incarnate. Twin flames are angelics. Twin flames are angelics who are in human bodies, who have these miraculous gifts open up in them to heal humanity. So we ascend while we're still living here on earth. We bring our divine gifts from above into our bodies, our angelic bodies, which are housed in these human bodies. So all of our gifts that we have open up full force, because we are angels. If you look here, angel and heaven, angel, angel. Twin flames are angels. That's why the gifts are so strong. That's why they're so big. That's why they won't open up at one time, because it would be scary at first to have it all open at once. But you are a divine being. You are an angelic. And the problem that's going on is there's those of you that have not accepted that you are truly a divine being. You are from heaven. Now, okay, so I was working with a client the other day, and she's, you know, getting closer in her work, coming with her twins, pretty exciting. But, you know, when we were talking, you know, I did a reading for her, and she was talking about how, you know, she's a witch, I'm a witch, I'm a witch. And I'm like, well, okay. And so we kept talking, and then we got to the end of the conversation. I'm like, well, have you, so for, you know, a few months, you've started to feel pain between your shoulder blades, kind of like you're carrying around a backpack. Like if you got a kid's backpack and you put some books in it, put it on your back, and you put it just right squarely in between your shoulder blades, you're feeling pressure. And she's like, yeah, I am. I'm like, uh-huh. It's kind of painful, but not painful, but pressure, kind of awkward feeling. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Your wings are coming out. I know it sounds like a really out there thing, and I know it really does. And if you ever do healing or reading with me, I'd be happy to explain some of my experiences. But I've had people see mine, to include Doreen Virtue and some others. Initially, when I was being told that, like my friend, my first course and certification I had with Doreen, I went up to meet her and shake her hands, and she's shaking everybody else's hand. And I finally get my turn. I'm so excited, and she looks at me and she jumped back. She's like, oh my gosh, you're one of God's angels. You're an angel of love. Your wings are enormous. And she starts staring up in the corners of the room. And so then I sat down with my friend after my meeting Doreen, and my friend's like, so what did you think? And I said, well, she's amazing, she's sweet, but I don't know what's going on. And my friend said, well, I always think that you're an angel. So I was having a very hard time accepting that. But here I am, fast forward, accepted it. So those of you in this situation, you are connected, you are opened up. You are ready to move forward. Your challenge is to accept that you truly are a divine being. You truly are an angelic incarnate. You are here to help people with their lives, to help them move forward. So what they're encouraging you to do is to start forging forward on your mission, to start doing that, to not worry about money, to not worry about finances, because they're going to take care of you. You'll find that you have more money coming in than you could ever spend. Some of you are going to be writing books. Some of you are going to be speakers. Some of you are going to be life coaches. Some of you are going to be doing energy work. Some of you will be massage therapists. Some of you yoga. But all of you will be doing something spiritually connected, because that's why God opened those gifts in you. That's why you're open up. Oh, the girl that was saying that she was was saying she was a witch. I told her, no, you're not a witch. You're an angel. Now, those of us that are twin flames, we've done this before in a past life, and we were always persecuted as witches and hung because that's what happened. But when I told her that, she's like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And she started sharing some things with me, and it started connecting. So for those of you in this situation, just kind of think back on your experiences. And it's going to kind of make sense to you. Really going to start to make sense to you. And look at these gifts that have been opened in you. Because what you'll find, let's say you do readings for people. Or let's say you do healings. Okay. So I do quantum touch. It's very, very powerful because it's God working through me. So I've had the pleasure of seeing in one session, cancer completely healed, gone in one session. And when I talk to other quantum touch practitioners and I share with them these miracles, because they're just not healing experiences, they're miracles, truly miracles. God is healing terminal illnesses and diseases left and right. One session, it's gone. And when I share that with other quantum touch practitioners, they're amazed. Because they're like, that doesn't happen. Because it doesn't. For a normal quantum touch practitioner, it doesn't. But twin flames aren't here to do something normal. We have these gifts amped up in us because we are here to heal humanity. We are here to bring love back. We are here to help people. And that is what you are here to do. So they're encouraging you to start to move forward. So the card brothers and sisters came up. And at the bottom that says, to get along with others, see the love and the best within them. Now, this card, typically what it means, get along with your truly get along with your brothers and sisters. But what they're trying to say is the world is in a place right now that it needs love. That is why we are here. That is why we are seeing so much turbulence and turmoil throughout the world. There are special things that have been opened up in you that you are offering humanity, and that you and your twin will offer humanity to help them heal, to help them grow. Bottom line, you are here to love them. You are here to help them, guide them, teach them, coach them, heal them. And you've been given unbelievably divine, powerful gifts to do just that. So they're encouraging you to step into what you're meant to do and to start doing it. Because for those of you that are here, the moment you step into that mission and you start doing it, guess what? Because most of you that are here are the divine feminine as well. And the moment you start to do that, your divine masculine will show up. Because that's really what it's about. We do get the storybook romance of a lifetime that's like movies and books are made of. But it's a unity between you, your twin, and God. Because you're here to do something big. That's what you're here to do. And some clients ask me, well, you know, why is it the divine? Because this is primarily divine feminine, primarily divine feminine. There are some situations where it's reverse, and it is the divine masculine, but for majority it's the divine feminine. That's because collectively, you know, because some clients get all mad of, you know, why do I have to keep doing the work? Why is he not doing the work? I'm like, well, he's got something different that he's going to be doing. Because this part of what you're doing is women have been oppressed and treated in a way for so many years. Collectively, what the divine feminine are doing, they're helping bring back the feminine power. And by taking the lead and having the intuition open and starting to do the healing, trust me, your divine masculine is going to be doing a heck of a lot. And you'll get to see that when you guys come together. The only thing you need to focus on right now is healing yourself and doing your mission. And then the two of you will come together, have the storybook romance of a lifetime, and start helping work miracles and changes in other people's lives, your brothers and your sisters here on earth, because that is what we are here to do. So, I hope that helped you, and now I understand why they wanted something just for twin flames, because I'm sorry if anyone listened to this that is not a twin flame. That sounds really out there, but it is what it is. So I do hope this helps all of you. Filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings.